So with this week's episode of Kekkai Sensen, we go full Ippo. That's kind of slightly what this episode gears towards. It's just, beating the shit out of each other, man versus man, bare fist in the ring, beating the shit out of each other, knocking each other's lights out. That's kind of what this episode of Kekkai Sensen was about. And I have to say, one of the best episodes when it came to visual representation. Like, the visuals, bro. Those were some damn good visuals in that fight. Like, I love the camera angles. Actually, that's a better term to actually describe this episode. It wasn't specifically the visuals, it's the camera angles that made this episode. Like, those camera angles, the way the camera was in the fights with Claws fighting the dudes in the ring, those camera angles from the sides to spinning around and stuff, oh my god, that looks so damn good. Like I said, probably the best visual representation of Kekkai Sensen thus far to this episode, in my personal opinion, because of the way that was done. So, getting into some details, it's very simple on paper. Like, this episode is where Claws goes to try to save Zap. Zap sets him up. Zap wants to beat the shit out of Claws because, he constantly loses. So, Zap, goes to this head honcho that works this underground wrestling tournament. Or boxing tournament, not wrestling, that's an improper term. He sets up this underground match. Zap acts like he's kidnapped. Claws goes to save him. Then you see a match begin. Claws starts fighting. Eventually, one thing leads to another to where Claws beats the shit out of everybody and almost kills the owner of the entire boxing ring. Like, the owner of the store. So that's kind of what this episode is about. On paper, that's a very, very simplistic episode. And the rest of the part of the episode is kind of getting to see Black talking to our main male character, Leo. And that's it. That's the episode. So, overall, though, the episode was very, very enjoyable. Like, when it came to the entertainment value of the episode, definitely high. Really, really high with the entertainment. Like, I was watching this episode, and time flew by. Like, I didn't even realize the episode was done until it was done. Like, my god, it was so fucking quick. I was just sitting here watching the episode, chilling, episode's done. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? Because it was just so good to see just Claws going in the ring, beating the crap out of people. I mean, oh my god, that non-human dude, he got wrecked right at the start. He's like, let me do this. He's going in, and Claws just breaks all his fucking joints, and his joints break and stuff. Oh my god, that was epic. That was epic. And that's kind of what this episode was. I mean, if you like boxing anime, or boxing in general, you're probably gonna love this episode, because that's what this episode is. Now, there is a couple things I do want to point out when it came to this episode, and hopefully, I'm not the only one. I really hope I'm not the only one. So, in the match, when you see Claws fighting the owner, and he busts his fucking head, and you see his head just explode and all that, and the dude's inside, and he's like, wiggling around and shit, that scene felt very off. What I'm getting at is like, it felt like something was skipped there. It felt like something was skipped in between. Because you see how Claws gets knocked up against the fence, and then the scene ends, and they're already outside. So, it felt like something was missing there. It really did. It felt like something was missing. And that's the only issue I think I had with the episode. Like, that's the only thing I could really say that was bad with this episode, because it just felt like there was something out of place, or something was missing with this episode, especially with that specific scene. But besides that, this episode, very solid episode. I think one of my favorites, personal favorites, besides last week's episode that was very sad. Oh my god, very good episode last week. This episode, I just love it, mainly for the camera angles. Like I said, the entertainment camera angles were the MVP of this episode. And so, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I mean, also, at the end of the episode, you see, how Black, reveals his, like, king-type attire. And oh yeah, we couldn't find out that, like, there's multiple kings, like 12 kings or whatever, 12 or 13 kings, yeah, so there's 12 or 13 kings of this entire city. So we get to see that, and, this dude is also a king. Really cool information. That's pretty much what this episode was about. Very simple, but very, very, very fun. Tell me your thoughts. What was your favorite moment? I love y'all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.